Smells so good, I can almost taste it.
But you don't eat bread.
Oh, welcome to That's Good Sports. I'm Brandon. Don't you ever touch Tom Brady, Perna. Who is number 6? Maybe Tom is right, because the jersey change numbers are a little confusing. I wonder if every time Tom Brady sees Trayvon Diggs on defense wearing number 7, he thinks, just for a split second, why the hell is Ben DiNucci in cover 2? Now, we were treated to a great Thursday night football season opener. I'll give you my takeaways from that game, plus big NFL headlines, like the badass way TJ Watt got his contract done, and the not-so-real DeAndre Swift murder story. Yes, murder, I say. That's good sports. You don't have to subscribe to this YouTube channel, but it'd be pretty cool if you did. Today's episode is sponsored by Manscaped.com/goodsports. Manscaped offers you the best tools and liquid formulations for the big 3 odor zones: body, balls, and butt. These concoctions and advancements in below-the-belt grooming are all included in the Perfect Package 4.0 from Manscaped. In addition to the Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant and the Crop Reviver Ball Toner Spray, you get the king of body hair trimmers, the Lawnmower 4.0. The Lawnmower 4.0 is an electric waterproof trimmer with advanced skin-safe technology which reduces nicks and cuts in the nether region, aka your wiener hairs. Plus, it's got a travel lock feature, so your trimmer will never go off in your luggage. So right now, you can click my link in the description or go to manscaped.com/goodsports to get 20% off, plus free shipping, plus 2 free gifts: the Shed travel bag and the best anti-chafing boxer briefs I've ever pulled over my buttocks. Manscaped, the perfect tools for your family jewels. All right, we've got NFL heady lines. Tom Brady at age 44 became the oldest quarterback in NFL history to win a game. When Tom Brady entered the league, Jerry Jones hadn't even been born yet. When Tom Brady entered the league, Chris Collinsworth only sat in stationary chairs. When Tom Brady entered the league, smoking was still considered healthy. Speaking of poor health, the Baltimore Ravens. Maybe the reincarnation of the 2020 49ers and Broncos combined. Done before the season even starts due to one horrific injury after another. The Ravens lost Marcus Peters and Gus Edwards to ACL tears on back-to-back plays during Thursday's practice. This offseason, the Ravens have literally lost their number 1, their number 2, and their number 3 running backs. J.K. Dobbins, ACL tear. Gus Edwards, ACL tear. Justice Hill, Achilles tear. Key defenders gone. Corner Marcus Peters, ACL. Linebacker LJ Fort, ACL. Plus, they don't have rookie wide receiver Rashad Bateman to start the season, which in this fucked up world propels running back Le'Veon Bell to the top of the pecking order. Wow. Now, Ravens, they gotta sign an old running back, right? They got to. Latavius Murray's out there at 31. Todd Gurley's only 27, but his knees are 53. Adrian Peterson is 36. And damn it, Frank Gore at 38 is a free agent. If Gore can survive at 37 with Adam Gase and the Jets, he can thrive in Baltimore. I just want to see Frank Gore play with his son, damn it. Now, TJ Watt finally signed his new massive contract with the Steelers, and apparently he did it in the most badass way possible, according to Adam Schefter. Steelers outside linebacker TJ Watt overruled his agents, who believed they could get more money today, marched into the office of Steelers president Art Rooney and told him they had a deal. Then, the NFL's new highest paid defensive player excused himself and announced he had to go work out. Oh my God. The legend of I have secured the bagger Vance. TJ agreed to a 4-year, $112 million contract extension with $80 million fully guaranteed. This is the rare occasion where a player signs a massive contract and fans love it because he refused to force the team to pay him even more, which Watt could have done. But Watt is still petty, people. He said this: 112 million is 12 million more than my brother JJ, which was my goal, and 102 million more than my other brother has made his entire career. You know, the one my parents loved so little that they gave him a full first name instead of initials and then forced him to play fullback. Regardless of Watt's pettiness, this was a key move for the Steelers before the season started. Now sometimes the actual headline is funnier than anything Will Keys or I could write. So I present Fox Sports, who may or may not know exactly what they are saying here. Cam Newton: I have a lot of things I need to get off my chest after Patriots release. If the Patriots released on my chest, I would have quit way before they cut me. Now this was a quote from Cam Newton's new show called Funky Friday. Although I swear to God he called it Fuck It Friday.
On this week's Funky Friday.
That would have been the name to go with in my opinion. Fuck It Friday with Cam Newton.
Funky Friday. I have a lot of things that I need to get off my chest.
Is it the Superman logo, Cam? Because you're done?
Funky Friday.
And the last headline that's gonna be a bit long-winded is the DeAndre Swift murder story. There's a weird blip yesterday in the NFL murder wire. And no, I'm not talking about the Ravens' playoff chances. Apparently, someone reported to the Philly police that Lions running back DeAndre Swift should be a murder suspect a couple of months ago. Now, when I saw Swift trending on Twitter, I thought it was because Dan Campbell said Swift is healthy, ready to play despite a hamstring issue that's been nagging him during training camp and preseason. Instead, a Reddit post about Swift blew up after Dave Kluge called the Philly police to get the scoop. This is what Kluge reported on Twitter. I just called the Philly PD and spoke with an officer in the commissioner's office. There was an anonymous tip that came in via the tip line over 2 months ago that implicated DeAndre Swift in a murder. The officer said Swift is not being investigated at this time. The officer I spoke to laughed and said that DeAndre Swift or any other NFL players were not being investigated for murder. If they were, we'd start with O.J. Simpson, move on to Ray Lewis, and then Marvin Harrison. The only thing DeAndre Swift has ever murdered is these guys' chances of ever playing in the NFL. The point here is Swift didn't kill anyone. That's the point, which after spending a half a season with Matt Patricia is surprising. That said, I would put DeAndre Swift atop my fantasy lineups. Nothing is more baller than getting the street cred for murder without actually murdering someone, of course. All right, Cowboys Buccaneers. Thursday night football happened last night. It was awesome. The NFL did it, they're back. And they started with an electric Ed Sheeran concert. And if you watched Clickbait Sports yesterday, here on my YouTube channel, you learned that Urinating Tree has to buy this $250 NFL Ed Sheeran jacket as punishment. Now many of us noticed Ed Sheeran looked like Roger Goodell's son in the booth.
But Dad, I hate watching your stupid football.
In game one, the NFL did not lay off the taunting calls, but more tragically, they denied us the juicy details about the taunt.
Got a taunting on 66. It was, well, let's just say it was a...
Uh-oh.
Yeah, well.
Cut that mic.
If they live mic what the taunts are, I can live with the emphasis on the rule. Now, Tom Brady's new Subway commercial debuted during the game.
Forbidden. Brady.
The new fragrance that says, Subway has so much new, it didn't fit in their last ad.
Yeah, it's fucking weird. And yes, it looks like a dick rising out of a weird box.
It smells so good.
Funky.
But personally, I love weird stuff, so point to Tom. Which, even if Greg Zuerlein made all of his extra points, is exactly how many points Tom Brady still would have won by. Had Greg made just one of his other field goal attempts though, Dallas would have won. But Greg made a bad mistake. He got too political. Greg Zuerlein, in attempt to reverse Texas's strict abortion laws, overcompensated by swinging way too far left. Look, I'm all for women choosing what they do with their body, Greg, but by going this far left, you're basically saying people should be allowed to eat babies, which nobody supports. Now, Greg moved closer to center, but still a little too far left for my liking. By now, you know the Cowboys lost to the Buccaneers in prototypical Tom Brady fashion. Dallas took a 29-28 lead after CeeDee Lamb redeemed himself for 3 really bad drops earlier in the game, and Greg Zuerlein redeemed himself for all of his misses, but Dallas made a fatal mistake and left 1.5 minutes on the clock for the 44-year-old and his legion of elite ball catchers to get back into field goal range and win the game with a chip shot. Many Cowboys fans would have liked to see this push-off called on Chris Godwin on the final drive, but even if it was, we all know Tampa was still getting into field goal range. You gotta score last to beat Brady, and when you can't run the ball, that is tough to do, which Dallas couldn't. Not as tough, though, as seeing Antonio Brown and having this be the first thing that pops into your mind.
And of course, he's got that $1 million smile of his.
Yeah, Antonio Brown, most known for smiling politely and some minor off-field issues.
Billy Corgan, Smashing Pumpkins.
Homer Simpson, smiling politely.
$1 million smile of his.
Funky.
No, don't drink that. My dad roofies all the guests' drinks after halftime. Now here are my takeaways from the game. Antonio Brown looks really fucking good. AB greater than CD. He is going to have a big year, which I will hate. Both the Cowboys and Buccaneers could have definitively won this game had there not been so many drops by their receivers. Chris Godwin and CeeDee Lamb, I think, combined for like 6, maybe just 5 drops. Both made up for them, though, with touchdowns and late game catches. But shockingly, this was anyone's game to win because of those drops and because of costly Bucs turnovers. Tom Brady now leads the league in interceptions. Suck it. Favorite plays? After 2 misses, Mike McCarthy was still dumb enough to let Greg Zuerlein attempt a 60-yard field goal right before halftime, which he of course missed, which of course led to the Buccaneers having great field position. Proving my point, Mike McCarthy's still a bad coach, but he was close to looking like a competent coach when this Tom Brady Hail Mary attempt was picked off and nearly returned for a pick 6. Speaking of 6, you don't touch fucking Tom, 6. Zeke Elliott rushed for just 33 yards on 11 carries. Many think running back Tony Pollard is better and wonder why Dallas is paying Zeke so much money. Honestly, Jerry Jones launders a lot of money through Zeke's contract, so just drop it. Don't write off Zeke just yet, though. The Bucs' run D last year was first in yards allowed. But yeah, Pollard should probably get more carries moving forward. Dak looked great. I think it took him just a little bit before he felt comfortable with his arm and his ankle, but Dallas will win more games than I thought this year. The Dallas special teams, really bad. That might bite them in the ass more than you think. CeeDee Lamb's drops and Greg Zuerlein's misses cost the Cowboys the opportunity to win the game. Dallas has too many linebackers and not enough corners. Not enough corners, Dallas! The Buccaneers lost corner Sean Murphy Bunting to a dislocated elbow, so their secondary will be thin for a while. Maybe someone beats them in that time so they don't go undefeated with their easy schedule. And had Ronald Jones not fumbled, that seems to still be a problem, they would have probably steamrolled Dallas in this game. Their mistakes cost them too. And finally, Tom Brady must fornicate like a god because Lady Luck keeps coming back for more. Tom Brady isn't just defying aging. He is receiving all of the luck again in 2021, as you can see here. Also, how the hell does Leonard Fournette catch this, but not this? Probably because Micah Parsons is covering him. And 7-Eleven is always open. Which dumb observation do you like better, 7-Eleven or ABCD?
Funky Friday.
Thanks for watching That's Good Sports. Please subscribe here on YouTube. I am on Twitter and Instagram at Brandon Perna. If you want to follow my socials, I'm active during the games and I would love to have you there. More videos coming this weekend when shit gets real.